Someone's keen for a walk. You ready to go walkies? Okay, let's go. Hello, thank you for joining me again on She Walks, She Paints. Everyone who has been subscribing and liking or commenting my videos, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and it's really helping me grow my channel much more. Today we've come to a really beautiful little village called Culross, which some of you might recognise if you're an Outlander fan, and we're going to be walking along the coast to a place called Torryburn as well. So lots of really beautiful old houses to have a look at, lots of fascinating history, and we'll just head out and see what else we can find today. The moat here refers to the remains of a 17th century mine shaft, which was probably the first ever offshore coal mine in the world, mining from a seam underneath the water. Miners at this time in Scotland worked in mining servitude, or slavery. By law, miners and their families were bound to the mine and were not allowed to leave their employer. We are looking out on the Firth of Forth, where the river widens to meet the North Sea. On the far bank to the southeast is the city of Edinburgh. Who's back? Hey! Hey, puppy dog. Is your paw all better? This is the dog who didn't eat his breakfast this morning, and now he wants biscuits because he knows we're going on a walk. This way. This amazing palace belonged to Sir George Bruce, the Laird of Carnock, a successful merchant and the owner of the offshore coal mine. Although he claimed descent from King Robert the Bruce, Sir George was not royalty. However, his house achieved palace status due to his wealth and influence. The yellow lime wash which coats the entire building was nicknamed the King's Gold and shows how rich Sir George must have been. This is the townhouse of Culross, built in 1626 and used as the council headquarters, courthouse and prison. Walking around Culross is like stepping back in time. You can see the history all around you. For this reason, it has been used many times as the location for films and TV shows, most famously as the fictional village of Cranesmere in the Outlander series set in the 1740s. The character who lived in this house, Gaelis Duncan, and the main character Claire, were accused of witchcraft in this location. Culross Abbey was originally built in the 1200s by Cistercian monks. Most of the buildings are now in ruins, but the Abbey church has survived and continues as the parish church for the village. Jack, let's go. What's this, Jack? Wild garlic. Not for doggies. Not for doggies. This stone slab marks the burial place of Lilias Adie, a woman accused of witchcraft in 1704. This makes it the only known grave of a person accused of witchcraft in Scotland, with most victims subjected to burning. Lilias lived in Torryburn for over 60 years, until she became the victim of the panic over witchcraft that gripped this country between the 15th and 18th centuries. She was taken into custody in the townhouse in Culross, but died before a sentence could be passed, possibly due to her treatment at the hands of her captors. Lilias was buried between the high and low tide marks underneath this huge slab of stone, as the people of Torryburn were afraid that the devil would bring her back to torment them. It's important today that we tell Lilias' story and remember her name. She was one of many women who were falsely accused of witchcraft, just for being older, a bit different, or simply being disliked by someone in the community.
Good boy.
Hey Jack, you been in the mud? We're gonna have to throw you in the river. Or do you want a bath? These are wild native daffodils, different to the ones that you find in gardens or planted on verges. You can tell because the petals are a pale shade of yellow, contrasting with the darker yellow of the trumpet. Many headstones in this graveyard feature symbols like the skull and crossbones, which can lead people to think that they belong to pirates. However, these are examples of memento mori, symbols which act as a reminder of the inevitability of death. Symbols like the skull and crossbones, an hourglass, a spade, and a bell were popular motifs for gravestones in the 17th and 18th century. So that's the end of the walk. We're going to head back to where we started now. We're hopefully going to find a stream to throw Jack in because he's so dirty right now. So hopefully by the time we get back to Culross, we'll have a nice clean spaniel and we'll be allowed in the cafe to get a coffee. Got some really great photos of the daffodils today, so that's probably what I'll be taking back to the studio. We'll finish the walk, you get to skip that bit, and I'll see you back in the studio to start painting. What's this? Oh, it's water! Is it clean? Cleaner than Jack. Good boy. That's better. Are you nice and clean now? Look at how mucky the water is, Jack. Was that you? No, this way. I've chosen to go for a close-up composition rather than full length of the whole plant, because the yellow flowers are the focus of the painting. As you can see here, I'm not working at my usual desk. That's because we went somewhere very exciting this week and I had to take my painting materials with me. You'll find out next week where we were. I found the shading on the petals quite difficult to get right. The pale yellow becomes a blue-green colour when in shadow. asked me recently if I ever make mistakes in my paintings, and the answer is of course yes. I try to reduce the chance of this by doing lots of experimenting on scrap bits of paper and taking my time, but mistakes can always happen. It can be frustrating when something doesn't go the way you want it, and I often get worried that I've done something wrong, but there's usually a way of making the painting work. And after all, if paintings always turned out exactly as I thought they would, it would get a bit boring. The income I get from selling prints really does help me to continue doing what I love and sharing that with you. If you wish to support me by buying a print, the link to my Etsy store is in the video description below. He always finds the muggiest way, doesn't he? Come on then, let's go. Or do you want a bath?